You then had a rigid canoe with two seats, one at the front, one at the back. Captain of the ship, the captain of the canoe was the one at the rear. The one at the front would be the one who would probably lay in the mines on the ships if you got through.
So explain to us what a limpet mine is, and how you carried them on the canoe.
Well, a limpet mine is flat looking. It's about 2 inches thick, but it's flat. It's got about 6 or 8 little feet on, which are magnets. Now you've got and also on the canoe you had a line with a hold-type magnet. You put it under the ship, turn the handle, and then it becomes a magnet. You turn it off, polarising or whatever they call it. So you put it on gently, you're on, that holds it still because of the currents. Then he'd jump over, and you keep an eye open that there's nobody coming. And when he comes, sees his head bob up, give him another mine, and he'd have about 6 or 8 mines in between your legs. He'd have about 8 in between his legs. So you'd lay 2 or 3 on a ship, and you had to identify where you're going to put them. When you could see the ship in the harbour at night, you always went for the boiler rooms, and the reason you told that, as you can see on any ship, if you look at it, on merchant ships, you could see if the funnel was at the rear, you knew the engine room and boiler rooms were at the rear of the ship. It was in the middle, like an island, you knew they were there, or it was at the bows, there. But you always put one on there. They blew a hole 6 foot wide, 6 metres hole when they went off. But you had a little glass, like a little glass fuse. In it was a copper wire. And when you cracked it, the acid got to the copper wire and burnt it and set the trigger off. Boom. So you could set it, you always set it to give yourself time to get well and truly a long way away. You didn't set it for 10 minutes. You might set it for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4, might be a whole day. So you could get away because you knew if you blew a ship, a hole in a ship, the German infantry would be scouring everywhere. You'd have a job to get away. They'd be everywhere. So that's how it worked. That's it. This little fuse, an acid, and a copper wire.
So when you finished doing like those sort of things, you then went on what's called an LCF, which is landing craft flak, which was really a platform of 20mm and 40mm.
Yeah, before we got on that though, we used to go to, I forget to get the name of the place, on the south coast. I do remember it some days. I've been there, the seaside town. You know, like English seaside towns had a pier. And on the end of the pier, which they'd all confiscated by the Army or Navy, they had a pom-pom, which was a 40mm, and an Oerlikon, which was 20mm, on the end for training purposes. But you could use them and have used them on low-flying aircraft coming in across the water. So you used to go every day and shoot at targets which a motor torpedo boat would have a target on a long line. And you just have to shoot as it's going by, or you shoot at an aircraft drone on the back of an aircraft if it was up there. So you had to learn all that before you even got near an LCF. And one day, it's all over, we passed out, lined us all up and said, well, we're going to Troon in Scotland. I went to Troon in Scotland, and that's in the dockyard, Troon, Troon. These things have been built on either in Scotland or up the Clyde or somewhere, up the Clyde or somewhere. And an LCF was a tank landing craft with the front sealed up, the back sealed, and everything else was right. And the hold was now become mess deck and a, what do you call it?
Ammunition.
Yeah, I don't know for it, I'll think of it. A magazine where all the ammunition was kept, and there's lockers to keep canoes in, and all them kind of things. Because they found that the Germans had spies in England, and when originally used to leave the barracks, Army or Marines, with a truck with 6 canoes in, they'd report that, and so they're on the way to somewhere, so they come to have a look out for them in the channel. So what they did then was to put them on an LCF in the lockers, so they're always at sea. You used to go to sea for about 2 weeks, which is a long time in one of those. Anyway, the well deck had a deck on top, and underneath now was living quarters and a magazine and toilets and what have you and that. And then up on the top deck was it 1, 2, 3, 4.
There was 4 20 millimeters and 4.
More than that, there's 2 at the back.
Those are
2, 4, 6, and 2 at the front. 8. There's 8 Oerlikons, singles at the time, and 4 pom-poms. And on the bridge was groups of Lewis guns, strip Lewis they call them, with a casing off. Strip Lewis, they were firing aircraft mainly. And you had to do all those things before you could go anywhere. When you've gone through all those courses and done all that, and you could do anything they asked you to do, you then was in your LCF, living on there, with about 60 Marines on there, and it's quite close living. Your hammocks are almost touching each other, and you're in a hammock on those, and you stack them up in a rack, and then you eat on the table here, and inside the table is your locker, where you put all your different clothes, you know, your weatherproof clothes and waterproofs and whatever you had to wear.
So the first time you went out to sea and saw action was when
the first time it had come down, there was a big storm, so we went into Holyhead. One of the LCFs went down in the storm in Irish Sea, could get her off. After that we come out and come to Southern Ireland, near Appledore, which is in Wales, not Wales, it's North Devon and it's North Somerset. And there's all these e-boats operating.
So they're like fast speedboats, aren't they?
High speed. They do at least 40 knots. High speed.
And they fire torpedoes, is that right?
Yeah, but they wouldn't fire them, that's a waste of money. They just open up with an 88 or 75 millimetre gun and blow us out of the water. If they wanted to. But they just wanted to get close in, and the firepower on an LCF was, I believe I was told, when then you saw an LCF firing all its guns, it looked as though the ship was on fire. The flames.
So that was the first time anybody shot at you?
Well, not personally, but they shot at anybody who's available.
And what were your thoughts?
Eh?
What were your thoughts?
I was just excited, that's all. No, never didn't fear anything. I don't know. I didn't fear anything like that. But we're invincible. We're all young men. You know what young men are like. When they're under 20, they're invincible, aren't they? Even today, they're invincible. Then they don't see any danger.
So did those e-boats bugger off when you started firing at them? Or?
Yeah. And they come at you as though they're all in line, those one, and then suddenly they're all parked out. They're everywhere.
All right. So okay. So what we'll do now, from there on, You went to the...
Oh, well.
No, we went to the Battle of the Atlantic from there.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so we'll talk about that in the next video.
Well, part of it was the Battle of the Atlantic.